Hello everyone, good morning to all. I am Bharat, second BComB, Department of Commerce, KCS Kasinolar of College of Arts and Science. Today we are studying about issue of share. Definition of company. According to section subclause of 20 of the Company Act 2013, company means a company incorporate under this act or any preference company law. In general, a company is an artificial person created by law that has a separate legal entity, perpetual section and common seal, and this has limited liability. Next topic is futures of company. Separate legal entity. The company is a separate legal entity from this owner. This means the owner has the right to be sued in their name, entered into contracts and owner asset and properties. Limited liabilities. The liabilities of a company, shareholders or owners is limited to the amount of capital they have invested in the company. This means their assets are not at risk if the company incurs debit or is sued. Perpetual section. It has a perpetual section, meaning it can continue to exist even if the ownership or management change. Centralized management. A company management is a centralized and usually connected by the board of directors or a group of executives. The shareholders or owners have limited involvement in the company day-to-day operation. Transferability of ownership. Share represented ownership of the business. They can be bought and sold on a stock exchange or privately. This means the company ownership is easily transferable without affecting its operation or existence. Separate taxation. It is a subject to separate taxation, which means that is must pay tax on his profit and income, and the shareholder must also pay tax on any dividend they received. Difference between MOA and AOA. Article of Association and Memorandum of Association. Article of Association, including rules and regulation government firm, including fundamental information vital for incorporation of a firm, aims at defining rules and regulation, aims at defining objectives and conditions. Subordinates to MOA, subordinates to the Company Act, not a compulsory to flip. Share capital. Meaning of share capital denotes the amount of capital raised by the issue of share by a company, collected through issue of shares and remains with the company with its liquidation. The shareholders or the owners of the company. Total share capital is divided into the small parts, each part known as a share. Types of share capital. Authorized share capital, issued share capital, subscribed share capital, called up share capital, paid up share capital. Meaning and definition. Shares. Definitions. Shares, also known as stock or equity, represented ownership in a company. When an individual or entity holds a share of a company, they become shareholders and have created rights such as voting on important matters and receiving a portion of the company profit in the form of dividends. Types of shares. Equity share, preference shares. What is meant by issue of share? Issue of share is a process by which a company allots its share to investor willing to invest. Such as investor is called as shareholders and can be an individual, corporate entity, LLP, private limited company or public limited company, and even an institution. An example of issue of share. ABC Limited is a company having share capital of rupees 10 lakhs, which is divided into 1000 shares, which a face value of rupees 100 each. If any wish to buy a stake in ABC Limited, they can purchase share rupees 100 each. Law governing the issue of share. The issue of share by a company is governed by the Company Act 2013. A company has abided by the rules laid down by the Act. A noteworthy point of the insurance of share is the company can collect the entity's share price as a on-time payment or waiver several installments separate over a timeline. Here are the details. The first installment is collected with the application and is called the application money. The second installment is collected on the allotment of a share and so is called allotment money. The final installment collects the balance of the share price. What is minimum subscription? The minimum amount of a company requiring to collect when issuing share to the public. This minimum subscription is set by the board of directors and cannot be below 90% of the issue capital. If a company fails to get 90% of the share issued capital, the offer will fail and it will be have to turn the application money received so far within the presentized time. Classification of issue of share. Issue of share by a company can be broadly classified into two types based on a manner of receiving consideration. Issue of share for immediate full concentration. Issue of share for concentration receivable in installment termed as call. Issue of share without any consideration. Issue of bonus share. Issue of share through another method, rights issue, sweet equity, private placement, employee stock option. Thank you.